Certification Volunteerism Association Organization. I really want to talk about this because I have some clients that are returning to work. They've raised their children, or that's not just women. We have some men who have had to take care of children. I had one gentleman who had to take a 2-year break from his engineering role because his son had a like bipolar or something, was just cutting up in high school real bad. So he had to take a break. And so therefore we talked about some of the things that he did. So it's not just women, it's whoever had to take a career break. And LinkedIn right now has an option to show your career break, which is awesome. But sometimes when you're doing volunteerism and you're doing those kinds of things, that can add to your value. I had one mom who she was raising money like crazy for this parochial school, and she had these big old balls and all this kind of stuff. So we pulled all of that experience and all of that expertise that she developed in putting on these balls and raising this money into that for a sales role, because that's what she was good at, and she raised some good money. So those things can help you. Certifications, if you are certified, like I have not only my certifications in a career practitioner field, I also have certification in insurance industry, because when I was on the corporate ladder trying to climb up, it was important for me to have the certified professional CPCU, say certified, charter property casualty underwriter, and also the CLU, the charter life underwriter. Those are huge in the insurance industry. I also have the AIC, the associate insurance claims. So when I'm going for promotions, that will separate me from the rest, because I've taken the time to educate myself further and get those certifications, because those are gold. That can make the difference of another $10,000 in your salary when you have those types of certifications. So if you have those and you're a PMI or something like that, those are very valuable. And what about associations? If you're in any kind of fraternity, sororities, or any type of associations, and you have a leadership position and also organizations, you want to showcase that. But I will tell you a funny story. I had one of my childhood friends come to me. He called me little sis because he was my brother's friend. And he wanted me to do a resume for him. And I said, okay, cool, Carl, I'll do it for you. He's all in the IT field and all that kind of stuff. And then he's heavy into the gun thing. I said, Carl, we're not gonna put this on your resume about you being in the gun place. Well, I'm very young, bro. I know, bruh, we're not putting this on your resume, because what if you get this resume in front of somebody and they're against guns? So you don't want to automatically eliminate yourself because you're gun toting. So always try to steer away from controversial stuff on an actual resume, organizations and stuff like that. Now, for my African Americans who are part of the what is it called, the minority accountants and stuff like that, those are fine, because I get questions about that all the time. So no, those are fine. I'm talking about those controversial ones where it's the gun toting, or maybe any kind of hot topic. We don't want to put that on there, because you never know who's behind the table. But if you're part of a fraternity or sorority, sometimes you get people who are part of that same sorority or fraternity, and that works to your advantage, especially if you're very active. So these are great ways to enhance and also separate you from the rest if you have these type of organizations that you're a part of. Now, if you're not part of any organization in your industry, I suggest you get active now, or at least pay membership and go to some of the virtual things, because again, it separates you and not showing you as a worker bee. Because if you're doing all work and you're not part of anything, I tell my clients, you go sign up and go read some stories to some children or something. Go do something. So I'm asking them, put something on there, because right now you're a worker bee. I'm not hiring a worker bee that you're burnt out from work all the time. You have no life. I'll go to work and I'll go home. What? No. There's so many things that you can do, even if it's once a month. So I'm like, no, go join something now. And especially if it's a professional organization in your industry, you want to, because that's additional knowledge for you. Even if you only go once a month, that's 12 times a year. That increases your wealth for that next opportunity and continuously to separate you from the crowd. And so here's my last thing. Don't send that resume out naked. It needs a cover letter, that is. Anyway, corny. Anyway, so send a cover letter with your resume, because it shows that you put some thought into your job search, and it makes your job search more formal and serious. And a lot of times, we also have this argument in our resume industry. Some recruiters say, I don't even read a cover letter, to be honest. Then some recruiters say, I always read the cover letter. So it's 50-50. I'd rather you have it and not need it than need it and not have it. So always have a cover letter. And what I love about the cover letter, especially when I have CEOs with a whole lot of experience or somebody who's decorated with a whole lot of stuff, if I can't fit in a resume, I sneak it right on in that cover letter. And it's like, oh yeah, see all this stuff, but you're going to learn even more stuff in my resume. So it's a sneaky way to put that additional information in there. And so I always like to use a cover letter. To me, they're very valuable. And it also, it shows that you put additional work in and thought into your own career. So that's what that's about. Always, always, always use a resume, a cover letter. Okay, so final thoughts. Resumes will not get you the job. They land an interview. And I make that very clear with my clients. I cannot guarantee jobs, but I can guarantee interviews because I know what my resumes do. But I'm not in the minds of the hiring people. No career practitioner should be guaranteeing you jobs. I mean, it's kind of hard to do that, but it's like, I try to steer away from that. What lands the job is really a well-prepared interview. So if you need interview prep and things like that, do that. Don't wing it. Don't wing your next salary or even your ability to negotiate because you interviewed so well by just winging it and then accepting anything that they give you. Oh, I'm just glad I got the job. You're going to pay me what? Yes, I'll take it. They got more money. Y'all trust me, they got more money. Anyway, resume should showcase your skills, abilities, and your experience. Write your resume first and then choose your format. Don't get caught up in how pretty it looks and all that kind of stuff. Get the content, try to get through, and then you'll know what you need to highlight and how you need to format it and put it in the actual nice format, pleasing to the eye. And don't sweat the number of pages. It depends on the strategy and what you're trying to get out. Because if it goes into 2 pages, that's okay. Let it be 2 pages. But if it goes to 1 page and it's like a little bitty piece on the second page, then now it's time to work with those margins and that font space and put that on that first page. So that's also strategy. And make it more results driven and less task driven, because results, people are looking for people who can get results, not people who can be a worker do tasks. We don't want those. Even as a leader, corporate leader, I'm looking for somebody on my team who know how to get results, because my results, I want them to look good. So I want to make sure that they're going to work and do what they need to do to get the results, not just somebody collecting a paycheck. No. So avoid passive language and use active words instead, and always include that cover letter.